Brad Williams. I'm with SPI, which is the Plastics Industry Trade Association in the United States, and we are the producers of NPE 2015. We're very excited about this show this year. We have broken a few records. It's a 69-year history show, and this year's show was the largest exhibit floor in the history of our show. We had over 128,000 square feet of exhibit space taken by over 2,000 exhibiting companies. So we're very happy with the turnout from our exhibitor base. From the attendee side, we have over 65,000 people already registered for the show. We expect a few thousand more as we have 2 or 3 days left. We have over 140 countries that are represented here at the show. And essentially anyone who uses plastics in their products is here at the event. They come from the automotive sector, from the medical sector, appliances, consumer products. So plastics is in everything. You see it in every walk of life, and that's what we're here to do, is to make sure that the companies using plastics are here at the show and using plastics in a responsible way, and recycling and sustainability are two huge parts of what the show is about. So we're very pleased with where the show is heading and the direction it's taken. From the attendee perspective, we have designers here. Those are responsible for the designs of plastics. We have the machinery companies represented. We have the material companies represented. And then we also have our brand owners, we call it, that are represented here. They are the Walmarts, the Procter & Gamble's, the large brand-owning companies, Panasonic, Ford, Chevrolet, numerous brand owners here that are a big part of the decisions of how plastics is going to be used in their products. So any company, whether it's a brand owner or a supplier of the plastics industry, a machinery company, there are ways to expand your market in the U.S. We as an association have a director, a senior director of our international relations. And as a member of SPI, his job is to reach out to international companies and help them enter the market in the U.S. So he's able to navigate what can be a somewhat challenging market to get into. But that's his focus, and his job as part of our association is to help Taiwanese companies enter the U.S. market from the import-export position. The NPE show is a very large show. We do utilize the entire convention center in Orlando, Florida. Getting from one floor to the other is probably about a 20-minute walk. The attendees seem okay with that. They really are visiting both halls. Our data has shown us in the past that they do visit both the West Hall and the South Hall. We try to figure out and make it as easy as possible for the attendee to move from one hall to the other. So we're always considering that. It's a big show though. So we think, especially international attendees, take 2 to 3 days to just see the floor. I would say 3 days to see the floor. And to understand, day one sometimes is just getting to know where you need to visit. One of the items that, as a U.S. trade show, it's sort of a standard offering for exhibitors who come over here. We have, the badges have general information. So when an attendee comes in your booth, there are the tools you can rent to sort of capture their information as a sales lead, to make sure that after the show, you can follow up and contact them, typically via email, just to say thank you for coming to my booth. It was great meeting you, and we would love to stay in touch. We have a substantial attendee base, obviously from the U.S., but from Canada and from South America, Mexico, down to Brazil, and all the countries included. When we moved to Orlando from Chicago, we made that move based off the expense of the exhibits. Orlando is a less expensive state to do work in. The prices are better for our exhibitors, and they're able to save the money, which allows them to bring the large equipment and to run that machinery. And that's very important to the show, that we have running machines. So moving to Orlando also showed us a lot of the South American, Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, a lot of the emerging companies in South America were able to come to the show, and that attendance has grown, I believe, about 30% year over year, this being our second time in Orlando. So that's been a very good thing as far as the entire market in the Americas. This week, the bus lines have been very short, the taxi lines have been short, people have been able to get around the city, there's a lot of hotels, there's a lot of restaurants, and it's been a really great experience.